You did everything right. You dug the hole. Not too deep, not too shallow. Exactly where it needed to be. You cleared everything around it because you refused to let anything to interfere with what was meant to grow. You gave it water, measured it, just enough to say, I see you. You still have life. You even spoke to it because some things need to know that they have not been forgotten. You gave it your hands, your patience, your love. And then the sun showed up and poured everything it had into your sea. And you watched it, and you waited, and then silence. It wasn't moving away, you expected. So when patience started knocking, then worry kicked the door open, then fear walked in and sat down like it owned the place, whispering, what if it's dead? What if you failed? What if it was never gonna work in the first place? Stop. Breathe. Because I need you to hear this. What you planted is not dead. What you watered is not wasted. What you spoke over is not forgotten. Everything happens on divine timing. What is meant for you, no delay, no doubt, no fear, will always be meant for you. One day, you woke up different. Not alarm clock different. Not Monday morning different. But soul different. Like something deep inside your chest cracked open and it whispered, you were made for more than this. And you believed it. So you moved. Vision board on the wall, speaking affirmation every day before the sun came up. You studied your craft like failure was an option. Because to you, it wasn't. You visualized, you sacrificed, you pushed day after day, night after night, over and over and over again, until it lived in your bones, until you could do it with your eyes closed. And still, you got nothing but silence. No breakthrough, no sign, nothing to show for everything that you poured out. So you got low, you prayed, and then tears came down. And as they fell down your face, they landed in the very soil where you planted your seed. And in that moment, you felt it. That tightness in your chest, the ache. It doesn't have words. The kind of pain that sits heavy on your heart. Because the thought of losing this dream, this vision, this thing you've been bleeding for, feels worse than death. It's like the sun been ripped from the sky. It's like trying to have night without the moon. Like day without light. Like life without life. A part of you will be gone. Not broken, not bruised. Gone. And so you sit there in that very moment. And the tension between everything that you've given and everything that hasn't showed up yet. And the question demands an answer. What do you do? So you just quit? Do you fold? Do you let everything that you built inside of yourself crumble in the very moment it needed you most? Or do you look at those tears and that soil and remember, that's not failure falling, that's water. And water doesn't kill seeds, it grows them. So the answer isn't giving up. The answer isn't losing faith. The answer is to keep pursuing. Because what is meant for you will never need for you to be perfect. It just needs you to refuse to stop. So keep going. Fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, overthinking. This is what happens when you dare to want something you never believed you could actually have. When the desire is real, but the belief is still catching up. And just when you're already fighting that battle, your old self has the nerve to show up, uninvited, walks in slowly, looks around, and has the audacity to open his mouth and say, I told you this wouldn't work. You cast me out. You left me behind. You acted like you were too good for who we used to be. And now look at you, sitting there, staring at the soil, waiting on a seed that hasn't moved. And for a moment, just for a moment, you go quiet. The words hang in the air. And something in you starts to wonder, is he right? You shake your head, no, it can't be. It'll grow one day, right? Right? And the silence after that question is the loudest thing you've ever heard. So let me step in right here, right now, and answer it for you. Yes, it will grow. That dream you've been bleeding for, it will grow. That relationship built on love, it will grow. The wealth, the prosperity, the health, every single seed that you've planted and stayed committed to, it will grow. But here's what nobody ever tells you. Growth is not always visible. Just because you can't see what's happening in that soil doesn't mean nothing's happening. Because while you've been standing there second guessing, while your old self has been running its mouth, while fear has been loud and faith has been quiet, that seed has been growing in the dark. It didn't stop because you cried. It didn't pause because you doubted. It didn't quit because your old self came back around talking. It kept growing in the dark, in the silence, in the waiting. And what you're standing on the edge of right now, what you're aching and praying and holding on for is not growth. The growth has already happened. What you're waiting on is for it to finally show itself in the light. So don't you dare walk away now. Don't you dare let your old self win in the final moments before everything breaks through. Be patient, because what's growing beneath that surface is bigger than anything that you can currently see. And it's coming. It is coming. Be patient. Not because waiting is easy, not because the silence doesn't hurt, but because everything great has always been worth waiting for. You cannot rush what has been built for you. Think about the tree. It didn't start off tall. It didn't start off strong. It didn't start off with shade so wide that it could shelter anyone from the storm. It started off as something so small that you could even hold it in the palm of your hands. And that's a seed. And that seed didn't get to skip its seasons. It sat through the winters when everything was frozen and nothing looked alive. When the ground was so hard and the sky gave nothing. It pushed through the fall, watching everything around it let go and fall to the ground. It held on through the rain, the kind that doesn't drizzle, but the kind that pours. Through the wind that didn't ask for permission, through the snow that buried everything in sight, through every storm that should have stopped it, but didn't. And then quietly, without announcement, without applause, it sprouted. And it grew. And it kept growing. Until it stood so tall, so wide, and so rooted that you forgot. You actually forgot that it ever started off as just a seed. And that's you, right now. You sat through your winters. The seasons where everything felt frozen. Where nothing in your life looked alive. You endured your mental turmoil, the thoughts that wouldn't quiet down, no matter how hard you tried. You survived the sleepless nights, staring at the ceiling, carrying weight that no one else can see. You took the hits, you got the bruises, you bent, but you did not break. And if you could just hold on, if you refused to walk away one season too early, every seed that you ever planted would flourish. And you will look back, standing in a life that you built, and the health that you fought for, and the peace that you prayed for, and an abundance that you cried for. And you ask yourself, what was there for me to worry about? Because you will go from struggle to living as if struggle never knew your name, from broken to whole in ways that you don't even have words for, from the heaviest version of yourself to the healthiest you have ever been. And just like that tree, you will not look like what you've been through. The storms won't show, the winters won't show, the tears won't show, the doubts won't show. All that will show is the bloom. So hold on, dig your roots deeper, stand a little longer, trust what's growing beneath that surface, because the season for you to bloom is coming. And when it arrives, nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to stop the world from seeing just how far you've grown. Be patient, hold on, your time is near. Now before we go, let me ask you something. Are you going to keep doubting the seeds that you planted with your own hands? Are you going to keep standing over that soil, staring, waiting, wondering, second-guessing every single thing that you did right? Are you going to let fear set up a chair in your mind and just let it stay? Are you going to let anxiety keep narrating your story as if it knows how it ends? Are you going to keep sitting in it? Or are you going to rise above it? Because here's what I need you to settle deep in your spirit. What you planted, it will grow. You will reap what you sowed. Not maybe, not possibly. Not if everything goes right. You will reap what you sowed. Because what is for you has always been for you. And what has your name on it has always had your name on it. Not written in pencil. Not written where it can be erased. Written as something that no person, no circumstance, no delay, no storm, no opinion, and no force on this earth can remove. Nobody can take what's yours. Nobody can steal what was assigned to you before you even knew you wanted it in the first place. It belongs to you. So drop it. Drop it all. Drop the worry. It was never yours to carry in the first place. Drop the stress. It only slowed down what was already on its way. Drop the doubt. It lied to you every single time you listened to it. Drop the fear. It has never once built anything worth having. Put it all down and pick up your tools. Get back to work. Get back to watering. Get back to speaking over what you planted. Get back to showing up with faith so loud that doubt can't even get a word in. Because your seeds is not dead. Your dreams is not dead. Your season is not over. You're still in the game. So pour into it, protect it, trust it, and never, never stop believing in what you planted. Because it's growing. Right now, in this moment, in the dark, in the silence, in the waiting, it's growing. In the moment that it breaks through that soil, you'll forget that you ever doubted it in the first place. You'll forget that you ever doubted it all. Now pick up your tools and let's get back to work. So remember, you're off and if anybody tell you otherwise.